So, picked up this free. Somebody was moving. Well, I ended up giving them a gift certificate to Total Beverage. Anyhow, because I got several pieces of furniture from him. It's got top and bottom. It's typical armoire. I do like that the arms completely fold back. So if I wanted to keep the armoire open, but you'll see the hole is cut out for the TV. I'm gonna put shiplap along the back and paint this. I'll get new hardware, so we'll get rid of these. But this is what we're gonna do here this spring. Turn it into a coffee bar. Okay, so yesterday I got the first layer of paint done. There's parts that I intentionally didn't paint because I'm gonna put shiplap in here. And then anyhow, this paint takes 4 hours before you can recoat. This is the emerald, it's the urethane trim enamel from Sherwin-Williams. And then now back a couple days ago, I actually had primed it. They have a primer that is going to allow it to stick. It gives the paint something to stick to. So I know some people would use a chalk paint. If you look closely, you can see there are spots like up in here in this seam that are still white. Or, I don't know if you can tell, but a second coat is going to get me a clearer, more consistent finish here. So that's what we're going to go for. And then I'll walk you through the lighting and other pieces that I add after this. So we're just going to finish up the second coat of paint today. For here, here, and there, I just went to the dollar store and got some contact paper. It's 18 inches by 1.5 yards, so I had to buy 2 because this is about 10 inches high, 9, and then 6. So I bought 2 of them. The nice thing is it's gridded on the back, so that's going to help with cutting to the right size. I've done my measurements, so it's kind of plain. So the black and white will go in the back. These are the lower cabinets, so they really won't be seen. The handles that I've got are a white enamel handle to go on the outside. So I think it'll just be subtle, but then I also didn't have to paint that back wall. Okay, so I put the contact paper in there, and then I did this one, and you'll see that I still have the extra piece here that I'm just going to come along because I put it in too big so that I could cut it to size so that it would fit nicely back there. So I'm just going to go in here with my sharp blade and just cut along that back ridge. And so as I do, then this comes loose and I'll be able to pull it out. Okay. Okay, so what I did before I cut this one, because it's on a new roll, is I made sure to line my pattern up with the 2 previous columns. And so I've cut where I laid these out. I started on the left and came to the right. This one I'm gonna have to start from the right because I cut it so that it would match these flowers. The cutting matches what's above, so it repeats itself evenly. In terms of height, it's taller than the actual height, so that as I put it in, I can go in and do those cuts. So before I put it back there, I need to peel back the paper. And so I actually expose quite a bit because then it makes it easier to pull on this once I have a good starting point. So I have two tools. These are Nordic Ware. I got them in a 3-pack. It's for baking, but they do come in handy because they have these two flat surfaces. I'm using the green one, but you see this, it's like a squeegee. It's soft. All right, so we're gonna get this in here, and I might lie down in front of the camera to get it started, but I'm lining up in the far right corner to start. And it's okay that the paper is on its side. It just needs to get that edge started. And I want it flat in this edge. It doesn't matter if the top and bottom overhang. That's kind of what I want because I want to cut it later. So once I have that started, I use the squeegee to get it into that space, and then I like to grasp the center, and then I can work my way up, all right, as I pull more of the backing out. And so I slide and slide, and you see that it's gapped, but then I'll go in and I'll tuck it in, all right? And so the tucking goes like this, and pop those bubbles out, and then I go upward as well. All right, so I'm gonna do this, and then I'll show you the final result afterwards. Okay, so the doors, the lower doors are now reattached. So you see that. And now I'm working on the shiplap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these wouldn't fit on this lower section. So I had to do a small 1/2-inch cut for start. Got my shiplap, and now I have to use the table saw to cut the final piece. There's a blue divider here. I had to cut a starter piece here, a full piece, and then I have to cut another one with the table saw there. You'll notice that there's purple paint on here, and that's because I used what's called cull lumber at Home Depot. They were damaged at some point on the board, but I knew I was going to cut them into small strips. Really big savings for small projects because you get 70% off of your purchase. So good deals. So I have a small farmhouse light that I'm installing in this. I had to make a big enough hole up there to fit the switch and the plug-in. So they've gone up over the top, and then they're going to go down the back and then come in through, there'll be a hole to then come back up through this hole so that I can do my on-off switch. But let me show you up top what I've done. I won't leave this hole. I'm gonna put shiplap on the underside to cover it, but I've secured the cord with a cable stay, right? By putting these on here, I'm keeping the cord where I want it to be. All right, so I wanna show you how I put the shiplap up top around the light. So in order for there to be a seam where I wanted the light to hang, I had to do some calculations, and then I put in a starter piece at the back and worked my way. So when I did this, I drilled through the front piece and then the back piece, because it's tongue and groove, I had to cut a slot into it. So this took a little bit of time, but once I had that set, then the light could hang. And then once I finished everything off, I caulked all my seams after painting, and that's the shiplap.